Welcome. It is Saturday, April 29th. We have just wrapped up qualifying for the Charlotte 4 Nationals. The field of 16 is set for the top 4 pro categories. We're going to cover that and all that's happened throughout this weekend. So let's hop right into it. Weather was the big story going into this weekend. There was a lot of questions on whether or not we'd be able to get the event in due to the weather. They were saying that Friday and Sunday were going to be a rain out. So far, the weather has held off. We've been able to get all 4 qualifying events in throughout the weekend. But with Friday, it was a bit of a headache due to the fact that weepers had cursed the event throughout the entire weekend, causing headaches for the officiating staff, the fans, and the drivers alike. We started Pro Stock qualifying at 4:30. Due to the weepers being dried, they didn't get on track till 5. In top fuel, with all the crashes and the oil downs and, again, more weepers, we didn't finish that till 7:40. But with that, we were able to be lucky enough to see some beautiful primetime night racing to qualify Q2. And if you saw the pictures and the videos that came out from that round, it is possibly some of the best photos you're going to see this weekend. With the light shining bright on the ZMax Dragway at Charlotte Motor Speedway, you saw without a doubt some of the best qualifying that you could have possibly seen. Just perfect, under the light, 9 under fire type event racing, and I think that should be every single national event weekend because it is by far and large the best kind of drag racing you could ask for. I understand why they don't do it because some drivers might have issues with the sun depending on where it is in the track facing direction, but I think there's got to be a way to make that work because without a doubt, qualifying under lights or even racing under lights is the best way to host a drag racing event. With that, we've had incredible speeds throughout the weekend. We're going to talk about that. The bump times to even get into these events have been just absolutely incredible to watch. In every single category, it has been faster than any other weekend you could ask for. Times that would have normally maybe have got you a top half qualifying spot wasn't even enough to make the show, and they sent a lot of teams home packing that could have easily made the field. With that, let's hop right into it. In Pro Stock Motorcycle, Vance and Hines once again showing some early strong dominance. Pro Stock Motorcycle's first showing since the Gator Nationals back at Gainesville all the way back in March. We saw some incredible speeds from Gaige Herrera, who qualified top spots with a 6.735. A 6.765 is where his teammate Eddie Krawiec qualified second. So again, the absolute blazing speed that we've seen from those Gen 3 Hayabusa bodies that debuted at Gainesville is on full display, and the Vance & Hines team are trying to take as much advantage of it as they can due to the fact that come Chicago, a lot of those teams that are fighting them for that championship are going to get their delivery of those same Gen 3 Hayabusa bodies. Guys like Steve Johnson, guys like Chris Bostick, guys like Matt Smith. Matt Smith not having the weekend that maybe he would have liked. Top 5 qualifying effort going into the weekend. He ended up qualifying 4th. He is on that 15 Suzuki body as he usually would run the V-twin Buell that he won most of his championships with, but he is committed to running the factory back Suzuki. He is stuck on a 15 Suzuki until he can get the 23 Gen 3 Hayabusa that the Vance & Hines team has. He's going to get his come Chicago, and will that be the equalizer? I don't know, because with the pace that the Vance & Hines team is running, by far and large, they are the team to beat right now. Angie Smith also debuted in new paint this weekend, had a vote for, I believe, best vehicle on the property with a beautiful paint job that she debuted that got painted that week. Struggled throughout all qualifying. I believe she only made one clean pass, a 6.874 that qualified her for eliminations in 10th. Not the weekend she is winning. Other notables to look out for: Steve Johnson qualified 3rd. Chase Van Sant, the rookie, qualifies 5th. Ryan Oler is down there in 8th. We had, like I said, Angie Smith qualifies back in 10th. And I want to give a shout out to Marcus Hilton. First ever start on a Pro Stock motorcycle. Makes his debut this weekend. Sneaks in on the 16th qualifying spot. He will start Sunday. The person he had the bump, though, Chris Bostick, a 7.458. Not enough to make it the speed of 179 miles an hour. Not the weekend he wants. He heads home early.
Are you surprised that nobody went number 1? Somebody's going to be number 1 here. You're kind of missing the point. 6.73 for Gaige Herrera. 6.80 for...
We're always trying to improve. You know, you're always trying to basically outdo yourself each round. So, I mean, for us to be able to improve during the day compared to last night, that was a big improvement for us. You know, especially, you know, Andrew, our crew chief's got both bikes on rails, and it's showing.
In Pro Stock, 23 cars on the property tried to qualify for this weekend's event. An incredible qualifying effort, top to bottom. It seemed every single pass that you had, guys were jumping 7 spots while people were dropping 3. Just every single way you look at it, it was just an absolute barn burner of a qualifying show. And again, Matt Hartford ends up number 1. Same pairing of the top 2 from the Las Vegas 4-Wide Nationals. Matt Hartford in first with Dallas Glenn in second. And what do those two have in common? They are both powered by KB Titan engines. They have dominated the season so far. The elite engines only have 1 Wally on the board, that being back at Gainesville, Troy Coughlin Jr. Since then, Cameron Caruso and Dallas Glenn have held the reins on the Pro Stock category, winning both the Arizona Nationals, the Pomona Winter Nationals, and the Las Vegas 4-Wide Nationals. And going into Charlotte, they're showing the same exact kind of pace from the KB Titan engines. 4 of the top 5 qualifying spots are occupied by KB Titan engines, with Matt Hartford, Dallas Glenn, Kyle Krawiec, that's your top 3. Christian Quadra is running for the elite camp. He is qualified 4th. And then in 5th is Greg Anderson. So again, the KB Titan engines, far and away the dominant package so far this season. We were wondering about if that could be the great equalizer. So far this season it is. Erica Enders, the struggles continue for that team. They went into Q2, did the burnout, backed it up, heard something in the engine they didn't like, and had to abort the run. Ended up being a faulty wiring harness that caused the strange noise. They decided to abort the run. She ends up settling for a 6th place qualifying effort. So not the weekend that she is winning going into this weekend, heading into Sunday.
Brzezinski fires and falls back. We're going to take 2 of them to the stripe. 6:53, 2:08, Matt Hartford. 6:72 for Brandon Miller at 205 miles an hour. So how much better is it out there right now?
Yeah, let me tell you, last night, getting out of here late, stopping at the wing place for dinner, none of us were in a good mood, even with the food we had to eat. So, you know, we went to bed last night really disappointed in the fact that we knew we had a car last night that could go to the pole. And I think luck was on our side last night, because had we had that failure at 1,000 foot, or you know, even past the finish line last night, I think it'd be a whole different outcome today, and I'm not sure the car would be in one piece. So it was lucky for us that the car, you know, broke right here before we fired it up, and you know, we just regrouped this morning and said, okay, that run's over, come out here, and you know, we're first car out, which means we got to be pulled back some because the lane's not going to be as good, and let's just go up there and make a good run. We know we have enough to, you know, probably get into the top 5, and if we make a great run, we'll go number 1, and that's what we did. So, you know, we have a great team. The Total Sales CIP1 Getrix Camaro is a rocket ship right now. It's the best car I've ever had. It's the best team I've ever had, and we're just going to see if we can start trying to capitalize on it.
Down in Funny Car, Matt Hagan debuted a new body this weekend in Q number 1 with I believe it was a veteran-backed sponsor. Didn't really get to see a good look at it, because by the time Q1 was over, it was on the back of a trailer with a destroyed body. They ended up rolling out the backup car, settles for a 4th place qualifying effort, running the car they won a lot with last season, and ended up finishing third in the championship with. Alexis DeJoria continuing to show the strong pace. A lot of people we said in the preseason, look, the Doug Collette and Jared Todd as being the guys to watch for, but Alexis DeJoria took that one personally because she has been on fire throughout the entire season. It's had strong qualifying efforts. That car has gone rounds. 1 2 fast, 2 tasty challenge back at Arizona, and was number 1 qualifier at the end of Saturday. Ends up qualifying 5th at the end of the day. She has had an incredible strong pace to start the season. Ron Capps struggling throughout most of the weekend. Well, Matt Hagan has won 3 of the 4 events, and Robert Height won 1 back at Arizona. Ron Capps still winless to start off the 2023 season. He looks to score the Capps trick and go 3 titles in a row. He ends up winning a 3.899 in Q number 3 to qualify himself 9th. As Cruz Pedregon, however, is building off the momentum that they saw back at Pomona, as well as the Vegas 4-Wide Nationals. While at Pomona, he went out early with the number 1 qualifying spot. At Vegas, he ran an equally competitive time to put himself in the top half of the field, had a very strong car, was able to go a couple rounds, ends up losing the event, but goes into Charlotte and qualifies 2nd overall in the class. An incredible showing from him as he qualifies 2nd with that 3.859. Bob Tasca III, however, takes over the number 1 spot, getting another number 1 qualifying spot with a 3.852.
Bob Tasca takes BG to the top.
You know, I said, I think leaving Gainesville, the first 5 races of the season are really critical to show performance. And, you know, 2 #1 qualifiers in the first 5 races. You know, we haven't won a race yet. We need to string a few together on Sunday. But we've just been working on getting this car to run really hard and compete at the top of the pack, because come championship time, if you can't run mid-low 80s, you're not running for a championship. And that's just the harsh reality of, you know, the level of performance out here. And what made us really happy on that run, actually, is we never showed our hand. We actually, the car shut off at 920 feet. We had a malfunction with the wheel counter, which shuts the car off in the event the driver can't. And it was like crazy, because I was wide open throttle. The car felt like it was a rocket ship, and then it just quit. So that's why it only ran 324 miles per hour. But that was on an 84 run, and you know, truthfully, that was a run we've been looking for, you know, since we put this program together. Very pleased with that run. We probably got a little too greedy on that last session. It's one of the challenges of 4-wide, is you don't get the same lane twice, right? And every lane is a little different. I don't care how good they make it. They've done a great job. But every lane's a little different, and we really didn't think we pushed that hard on that last session, but it was just too fast. So we got a good baseline for tomorrow. Who knows what the conditions will be. The weather's a little crazy right now, but you know, we have a good hot weather setup, and we have a really good cool weather setup, and I like our chances.
Finishing off in top fuel, again, some incredible speeds being shown over there. In order to make the field, you had to run, I believe, an 803. An 803 was the bump spot, and a lot of times that may have got you the 13th, 14th, or 15th. Here, that's just what you needed to make the show. The top 6 drivers alone all ran under a 369. That's how fast this field was. With the amazing overcast, the rubbered-in racetrack throughout the weekend due to the rain, and the cool, I believe, cooler conditions, it led to some blazing quick times. And who leads the charge? I want to give you a guess. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. Do you say Brittany Force? Because it was Brittany Force. Without a doubt, who is surprised anymore? Brittany Force. She owns the top 10 fastest times in believe speeds. She probably owns every single record that the NHRA has in terms of speed records. She has blazed the track through event after event after event, and she does it again with a 3.651 at 336 miles an hour, and just steals the #1 spot with no one else really within the same 100th as her. She ran a 3.651 to take top spot. Justin Ashley ran a 6.62 to take number 2. So while it doesn't seem like a lot, again, that's a big gap for that John Force Racing Chevrolet to be just smashing the field. Whatever that team has, it continues to work. Do I think she's going to take the event win? I have a hard time believing so. While that car has been fast, no doubt, has owned qualifying throughout every single weekend, something always ends up happening with that car come eliminations, and it ends up costing them. In round number 2, we saw an absolute collapse of John Force Racing. She ends up leaving early. She struggled in Arizona. She struggled in Pomona. Made the finals in Vegas for the first time. Her first ever appearance in a final at the 4-Wide Nationals. Or, I mean, in the season. She made her first ever final appearance at the 4-Wide Nationals. But she loses to Antron Brown. Again, the second 4-Wide Nationals of the season. The last one of the season. She has the same exact shot to maybe go around to possibly win the Wally this weekend. But with the gremlins that face that car, I have a hard time believing that she's going to do it. I genuinely do. I think she's going to be an absolute threat come the midpoint of the season into the summer. But right now, I don't see her winning this event. Possibly Chicago. Easily do it Chicago or Norwalk or Bristol. But right now, I'm not convinced that they have everything figured out to go win this event. Because if you look at all 4 of the champions this season, they're all struggling. We've talked about Ron Capps, we've talked about Erica Andrews, we've talked about Matt Smith. Brittany Force is in that same boat. Fast, we know she's fast, but something happens to that car and they cannot make it to the next round. And Clay Milliken showed an amazing amount of promise and a big stride in the right direction. Ran a 371 in qualifying, that put him in the top 5 at the end of day 1. In Q3, while everybody else was running a fast time to put themselves up in there in the top half, he fell from 4th all the way down to 9th, and he spins his tires in Q3, and that cost him big time, and then had a disappointing run in Q4, and again, drops him to 9th. I feel that there is a lot of promise in that car. They have been slowly working through whatever problems have faced that car, because again, the #1 thing I will say about that team is while everybody's been counting them out and they're thinking, oh, you need to fire this guy, you need to fire this guy. The thing about that team that everybody else didn't have is they moved from Tennessee or Illinois, and they moved the team across the country to North Carolina. They had to spend most of the offseason just moving the team over to get ready for the season. They have an entirely brand new race car in that shop to run with. I know a lot of people might not see that as the excuse, because we've seen what the team has been able to do with an underfunded program, with the fast times and speeds they've been able to run. They went a lot of rounds last season towards the tail end, especially at this exact track for the Carolina Nationals last fall. But I do believe that come the midpoint of the season, I do think the team's going to turn around. I know you've heard me say that. I know a lot of you going, oh, he's on about this again. He said this at Arizona. He said this about Pomona. He said this about everything. Believe me when I say this. I think this team's going to turn a corner eventually. This team has the speed. They have the talent. They have the crew. They have the money. They're just figuring every little thing out, and I do believe they're going to be a team that can go around to contend for #1 qualifying spots. I genuinely do believe that. Steve Torrence as well, shown incredible consistency throughout the season, the exact same thing that we've expected out of him, that won him those 4 championships. Qualifies 4th, again, an incredibly fast time, again, a 6:51, a 6:62, a 6:78, and the Steve 6:79. That's how close this field is. So while these times are pretty tight together, you got to admit that Steve Torrence is still one of the front runners to go win this event, and I do believe he's probably going to be my top pick to win this event this weekend. He is still yet to get that Wally to kick off the season, but because of Mike Salinas' penalty, because of Justin Ashley's struggles at Gainesville and Vegas, that has been able to let Steve capitalize, and now he holds on to the points lead going into Sunday. And I do believe that that is going to be the car you need to watch out for come Sunday.
That's better. That's solid. 366 for Justin Ashley. Nice try. 365. Hey, ZMax. How about 336 miles an hour? Brittany Force goes to the top.
That was an incredible run. It was more than I think our team expected. You know, a 65 is just outstanding. And then to be able to, you know, run a 74 in that last run. So we had 3 solid runs, 3 of the 4, which is great going into race day. It gives us enough information to, you know, hopefully carry it over and go some rounds tomorrow.
Absolutely. You've made a habit of huge runs here at ZMax. This is a track kind of brings out the best in you, brings out the best in this team.
Yeah, we've had success here in the past. We've won here before years ago. So I've always loved this track. It's tricky with 4 wide. It's a challenge for, you know, the entire team, everybody involved, but that's what makes winning it so much better.
Again, incredible qualifying result to round out this event. If you were not entertained by qualifying this weekend, then honestly, I don't know what to tell you. If you missed it, I feel sorry for you, because this is absolutely everything we expected out of the NHRA this season. The speeds have been incredible. The times have been blazing quick. The speeds have been even faster than that. Everything has been checking the boxes, and if you don't watch on Sunday, then I genuinely do believe that you're gonna miss one hell of a national event, because if Vegas was anything to watch out for, Charlotte is gonna be even better. If you can hear it in the background right now, that is NHRA right now. They should have been over with, but because of the weather going into Sunday, they're going to run sportsmen through the night, finish the brackets for those guys, so that way on Sunday they have all the time they need to fill in for the pro category, so that way they can get their event done and get on the Fox broadcast. So tomorrow is going to be full focus on the pro category. It's going to don't have to worry about anything else. It's going to be an absolutely incredible event. I highly recommend you watch it. My voice is going away here, so I got to wrap this up. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for the support. I hope to give you guys more content as the season goes through. We moved back to Indiana, so I'm in the shadows of where all the teams are, so hopefully I'm able to bring you guys more content than what I usually do. I plan on hopefully being at the Route 66 National Chicago, as well as going to hopefully the Cletus and Cars event at IRP. That would be a fun event, especially with the fact that you got NHRA sportsmen and top alcohol dragsters competing over there. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for your support. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at MightyMac03. Sub to the channel, like the video, comment, and share it to anybody else who enjoys drag racing, so that way they can follow along with the season. Because again, if you're not watching this season, I genuinely do believe you're missing out on some of the best racing that is going on in the country right now. So again, thank you guys for the support. Follow along. By all means, watch tomorrow. And until then, this has been Mighty Mac, and I'll see you next time. Thanks guys for watching.